When I walk down a lane, many times I see a man named Lois or a woman named Sam. That's a reference to the Superman people. I know, that was stupid. But this is Comics Covered for the week of February 27, 2019. Episode... What?
I love when you talk about the Superman people.
The Superman people.
The Superman people.
The Lane people. They're the Superman people.
Uh-huh.
We are, on this episode, or I am, executing Order 66 and officially murdering Doug because he's the last Jedi.
Am I a Jedi?
You're a Jedi, and now you're dead.
Uh-huh.
Ba-bam.
This is episode 66.
We're in episode 66. It's pretty great. It's pretty fun. That is double 33, if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there it is.
It's triple 22.
Hey! Here on Comics Covered, we talk about, other than, random shit. I gotta stop saying this other than thing, because I love it, but I can't think of the random shit that we come up with. How do you boil down what I talked about just now?
I can't, because boy, was it sure some doo-doo nonsense.
Doo-doo nonsense. What was that? Didn't the Flash say something like that in Superman? Cock-a-doo-doo or doo-doo... I forgot.
Something with caca in it, and it was very funny.
Yes.
It did not sound like something he would say.
Because that was supposed to be Barry Allen, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like funny, but it was just like, this doesn't sound like a thing that a modern, like, I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but...
Yeah. Well, because the Flash, like, sometimes they try to write him as like a Superman sort of, or Spider-Man sort of quippy character, but he really isn't that, right?
Well, he can be. Like, of, like, the Justice League members in, like, that kind of setting, like, he is the more light-hearted character. He's a lot of times where the comedic relief will come from. Wally West is a little bit more quippy, generally, than Barry, but, since Barry died and got brought back, a lot of people tend to just kind of keep kind of writing him like Wally. So it varies from writer to writer, but...
I got you. Okay. Well, there you go. But we talk about comic books. We do, like we just did. The world around them, the industry, the movies, the TV, the games. We'll also talk spoilers about some books, and we'll warn you about those. I'm Jack. I'm still new to the comics. But I'm here with someone who is not.
That me.
That you.
It me.
What's that? Is that a meme or something? Is that another meme?
Yeah, that's one of them memes that the kids are talking about.
The meme things.
You say it me.
It me. Big
it
if
me.
True.
Like if you see something and it's just like, that speaks to me and kind of my whole business and like what I'm about, you just go, it me.
It me. Okay.
It
cool.
Me.
I'll use that.
Yeah, I'm Doug, and I also read the comics. I would say I have read marginally more comics than Jack, but
absolutely have read more.
I definitely have, but it's vague at this point how much.
I mean, yeah. I don't know how to. Yeah, I can't refute that.
I mean, have you not kept up on your checklist? I mean, we need to compare numbers.
I mean, I definitely. Oh, actually, you know what I have? Since I have this app that you put me on. What was it called? Collectors or whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Collectors with a Z. I have everything in here that I own, and I can look at the things I've read compared to the things I haven't read. So I have 639 comics. That's trades and issues. So I don't know how to number the trades. You know what I mean?
Have you been keeping up on the marking them as like read or not read?
Oh, absolutely. I do it every single time.
I do not at all.
So, like, you have a thing on here that you can set your field defaults. So if I usually scan, like, the issues I get every week once, like, right after I read them. So I just default it as I've read it. And then if I, like, buy anything, I just change that and make sure I haven't read.
Interesting.
It's great. I'm a big fan. You know what the other thing I do that's just it's kind of like, I don't need to do this, but they don't have a way to sort by artist and author in this app. So on the tags, I put on the primary writer and the primary artist, like the penciler, so that I can look at, how many books do I have written by Jeff Lemire? And I can look.
You can search by them.
I don't think so.
I can in my desktop app.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
I'm not sure how you're on the phone version.
Yes, I don't think I can do it, but I don't know. This doesn't take that much time, and it's pretty easy to put in. But like, I can figure out what is it? Dale Eaglesham. He is the artist on 4 issues that I have, like 1 Milk Wars issue, a Shazam issue, and 2 Terrifics issues. Like, I think that's kind of cool.
But it does it not have a default field for creative team normally?
Not. No.
That's weird.
Isn't that kind of weird?
The desktop version definitely does.
These bastards are trying to get more money out of me. I mean, to be fair, I don't need it. I don't need it necessarily.
No, I don't need it either, but I don't know.
Whatever.
It's nice to have a database of everything you have.
So, Doug, what have you done this week? What's in your life?
Oh boy, I watched a couple things on the Netflix.
Oh, nice.
I watched
Netflix and chilled.
I did chill, and I did Netflix, and I mean that quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that I was at a suboptimal temperature. No, I watched a movie in the form of The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which you apparently had not heard of before.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen a Joel and Ethan Coen movie in forever, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Like, did you not see... what was the last one you saw? What was the last new one you saw?
I don't know. I didn't see Inside Llewyn Davis, and I don't know if I've seen anything past that. That was like 10 years ago.
Did you see No Country for Old Men?
I did. That was like more than 10 years ago, right?
That was a while back. I don't remember what year, but
definitely saw No Country for Old Men. That was like when we were in high school. So yeah.
You see a Serious Man?
No, I tried to start reading it. That's the one with the guy that plays Night Owl in Watchmen, right? Patrick Wilson?
No.
I thought... Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Anyways, Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a movie they released on Netflix this last year. It was just up for some awards at the Oscars, not many, but I think it was up for adapted screenplay. But anyways, it is basically an anthology of a bunch of Western short films.
Huh.
So they made a whole bunch of Western shorts, as in like about cowboys and the Wild West and all that. And as far as I could tell, there wasn't really any kind of, I mean, maybe there was a theme, but like they're all drastically different in terms of tone and approach and like style of writing. Like they all feel like a Coen Brothers thing, but the Coen Brothers can do lots of different kinds of things.
I mean, compare The Big Lebowski, right? With No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. And then there's also, there's all sorts of different stuff they do. So it kind of covers the gamut in terms of like, it gives you lots of different types of Coen Brothers fixes. And I found it to be a very fun watch. Like, I didn't hear like amazing things going into it. I didn't hear bad things, but like, I didn't hear anybody like being like, this is amazing, incredible, whatever. In the way that some of their other movies do. But I think that's just due to the nature of like, it's a bunch of short films.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not everyone's thing. But like, if you like short films and you like the Coen Brothers, it's excellent.
So you would say it's like amazing. It's incredible. Like would it be one of your favorites?
I don't know that I'd say it's one of my favorites, but it's a very fun watch.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say that it's like among their best works.
Okay.
But it is like it's in the top half.
Okay.
I'd say.
Okay.
Which I think is saying a decent amount.
Absolutely. Especially with their body of work. They rarely put out something that's like not that great, I feel like.
No.
Interesting. So like how long is each like little story? How long is each?
I'm trying
30 minutes?
I'm trying to think how many. Yeah, they're longer. They're not like 5 to 10 minute short films. They're at least like
20 to 30.
Yeah, they're maybe like 20 minutes each.
Okay, interesting. Are they all pretty the same, much the same length, or is one like dressed?
I think they vary. I'm really not sure, actually.
Okay, well.
I know it's a 2-hour movie total, and there's like 6 of them, so I suppose I'm trying to do math.
That's 20 minutes.
20 minutes, about 20 minutes. That sounds about right.
Okay, cool. That's really, really nice, because like also if you need to go do something, you can stop in the middle, like after like 2 movies and go and do something. Like it's nice to have those like natural breaks in a movie, because it's not as
definitely
like, insurmountable.
We definitely kept pausing it to go do another thing, then come back and then watch another, and it totally works that way too, because as far as we could tell, there wasn't any kind of like connecting kind of thing that you would like lose with like if you like broke the rhythm or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a good time.
Awesome.
Also finished The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Which
is the adaptation of the Gerard Way, Gabriel Ba Dark Horse comic.
You went fast on that.
Yeah, Leah really liked it.
That's cool.
We watched that.
Is she going to start reading the comic?
I keep telling her to. I don't know if she will.
Okay, well.
But she likes Gerard Way from
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Was she middle school drooling over her or drooling over him girl?
I don't know what her why she likes him, but I know she is like was a fan at one point and still thinks it's cool he's doing stuff. Nice. Anyways, and that's pretty good. I think the comic's still better.
Yeah.
And I think there's some bits of it that kind of aren't of the show that aren't great, but I think it also does some stuff that's pretty good.
Would you say like performance-wise?
I enjoyed it for the most part.
Or writing-wise, like there are problems,
It's a bit in all buckets.
Okay.
But nothing that's like horrible.
Okay.
Just like lots of little things you're like, that could be better.
Interesting.
A couple characters that are a little obnoxious.
How's Ellen Page? She's the only one person I know
great.
in it.
Ellen Page is great.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's well cast to her character, although her character has a much bigger role in the story than she did in the comics.
That's what I was going to ask too. Like, did it have the sort of mystique effect? Jennifer Lawrence.
A little bit. It follows the same. Like, she's in the same role. It's just like she's in more of the story.
Okay.
Like it's not like they like turned her from being like either a good guy to bad guy or bad guy to a good guy or whatever. Like they didn't fundamentally change who she was in the way that they kind of changed Mystique.
Yeah.
But like she's got a lot more screen time than she did in the original. But anyways, it's fun. Like I'd recommend it to people. Like if you're curious, I know a lot of people who haven't read the comic are going nuts over it. So maybe I'm just too attached.
Interesting.
So
I'm excited to read that though. You should have Leah read the comic. Also, she should read Doom Patrol now, the most recent thing. Remember when that was coming out like monthly?
Jesus Christ.
But not really.
That's still theoretically
they haven't
going to continue.
They haven't said it's gone.
They like I don't even know.
Whatever. As opposed, well, not as opposed. For me, my week wasn't that exciting. I really don't know what to say about it. Like, it was fine. It was a week. I was happy. I was my own happy self. But, I don't really have anything. I just kind of lived. Just kind of went around.
Just kind of were.
Yeah, I just kind of am. But, I mean, I'm still getting through Ocarina of Time in the Zelda series, which is great. What is it? There's a point at which, well, are you going to play that game at any point? You should.
Probably not. If I'm honest with myself, a lot of that old stuff, I'm probably just never going to get around to it.
Well, you should. It's really great. There's a point at which like the whole thing changes. So like you spend the first half of the game as a child, and you like your things are like a slingshot, a wooden sword, and like a small dinky shield. And that's like half the game. And you go through the whole map and like you get to know like parts of town and everything in this specific way. And then the story like gets to like a halfway point and you are like stuck somewhere for 7 years. So you age and the whole world becomes like evil and it becomes like a bunch of monsters everywhere and they terrorize the parts of the map that you've come to know and love. And like you do now have to like, as an adult, you know, defeat the evil that's plagued the land. But I just think it's so cool because like this game that's literally 20 years old, like you get comfortable with the whole landscape and then it's the landscape, but it's just in this different setting. It makes it feel like just super cinematic and super like, I don't know. It takes you in so well. Like I'm so impressed with a game that's this old doing what it does. It's crazy. So yeah, that was me. That was my week. That was my whole week basically. Doug, do you want to talk about some news?
Let's do it.
So there's always I feel like there's always drama around Rotten Tomatoes these days. Like, people just getting way too attached to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm moving it out of my list, but like, whatever. Like with Last Jedi, all this Marvel shit, all the DC stuff too, like, just people are so, Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it doesn't matter. Sorry.
It's just, it's specifically that, like, kind of those tools have been, and specifically the like fan rating tools, on stuff like that.
I mean, I know it's because
they've turned into sort of philosophical battlegrounds in some dumb ways.
Well, it's in a way that they made the site more so like a social media site. That's really what it comes down to, I think. Okay, the reason we're talking about this is Captain Marvel is coming out next week, which I'm super excited for. Apparently, there was an aspect of Rotten Tomatoes where you could review the film. I thought it was like you could say if you wanted to see the film or not, and that's where the percentage came from.
I'm unclear on that. I saw conflicting information on that, and I'm confused about it, to be completely honest now, because you can no longer, as we're going to talk about it in a minute, you can no longer actually do this.
So yeah.
Whatever it was. But I think you can, because I'm fairly sure I would see, it was part of the want to see or don't want to see system, but you could also assign a star rating to it for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I swear I used to see that.
That's weird. But yeah, the whole thing is, they removed it for Captain Marvel because they realized that that's a fucking stupid system and it only is a way for people to like, either, hyperbolically say, this movie's going to be the best thing ever without any grounds, or say, fuck this movie and fuck it in the ass.
But specifically, so they removed it blanket from their whole site, the ability to rate those movies. Also, they changed the want to see metric from a percentage to a number, because I'll get to that in a second, but groups of people on the internet who could kind of loosely be called a bunch of whiny trolls came to Rotten Tomatoes to coordinated kind of movement to review bomb the movie, which means they all go on there and they give it a negative review. They gave it the lowest because they all did it at once and the movie hasn't even come out. It technically has had the lowest star rating or whatever, the lowest viewer rating of any MCU movie.
You know what I don't get? Sorry to interrupt. I don't understand what that does. Like, does anyone care about what the audience reviews are in that site?
the theory is that it then like shows Disney or Marvel that like, oh, the audience is not on board with basically the whole thing was around Brie Larson has been doing interviews, and she noticed that a lot of the interviewers, the majority of the interviewers she was being put in a room with were white men. And, you know, this movie is kind of about, in some ways, about kind of some progress in terms of diversity.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of made that a talking point of hers. And so she said, like, if I'm going to do this, I need to be talking to more diverse reviewers, more diverse interviewers.
Mm-hmm.
And that upset
the white man?
A bunch of people. Yeah, kind of. Well, it's specifically like, it's the like, I don't know if it's specifically Comicsgate groups, but it's definitely a like Comicsgate adjacent kind of communities, in that it's about like, God, the damn SJWs are ruining everything.
It's so funny that they would talk about snowflakes when this seems to be like the most snowflake
This
thing.
is the most like it's a fucking movie. This drives me insane.
Okay, but
like,
in any case, Rotten Tomatoes removes this feature, which is great. And they don't really have that outlet anymore. And it's ridiculous. But, you know, let's just not get, caught up into.
But the funny fucking thing about it is, like, so they changed it from a percentage of people who want to see to to giving you a straight number.
Okay.
Which the other day I'll see if I can find it in real time here. But it was the lowest for any MCU movie before they changed it, and then it turned into the highest.
Oh.
It was the number of people who had clicked the want to see turned into the highest of any movie. Huh. So it just shows how fucking nonsense all of this stuff is.
Yeah.
And like using it to like promote your weird like fucking idea of like get your messages out of our movies through these sites or whatever. It's just so pointless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I saw recently, I think it was a repost online, but I saw someone like reposting the response to comics being political or something like that. And it's just like, I don't understand where that idea comes from for these people. Like, is that like maybe in the 90s it got less like about messages and stuff, and so people like grew up with that sort of idea? I don't know.
No, it's because these people were children at one point reading these books and didn't read it. It's because these people. It's because they're seeing more progressive ideals being put into these books in a way, and they don't agree with them, and they equate that with, well, if it's not progressive ideals, then there aren't politics in these books, because it's specifically like groups aligned with alt-right groups and things that are the ones getting upset at this stuff. And they claim they want no politics, but that's not really true. Anyways.
Okay. Well, at least, Rotten Tomatoes solved it in a way. So that works. I'm excited to see that movie. We're going to see that movie.
Yeah.
So
that movie looks great.
I haven't seen any trailers past the first one. I know you saw like a featurette or something, right?
Yeah. It looked pretty good. I'm pretty excited.
I give it a 0 out of 10, Doug. I saw it. Okay.
Anyways.
So it's comicbook.com or CBR. What does CBR stand for? Comic Book Resource?
Comic Book Resources.
There we go.
Yeah.
Comic Book Resource released an article talking about how these DC Walmart comics that we were talking about when they were first coming out are apparently not going to be a thing.
Yeah. Did you read through both of these? Kind of get a good idea of what these are.
I mean, in general, you can talk about them though if you'd like.
I mean, basically, it's just like there were a bunch of rumors out there that the Walmart giant specials, there were these big 100-page comic books that were exclusive to Walmart. They had a lot of reprint materials, but then they also had about 50 pages of new material from some high-profile creators, like Brian Michael Bendis did a series with who did he do that with? I think he was doing it with Nick Darrington.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Tom King was doing one with someone, and they were kind of... Tom King was doing Superman, Bendis was doing Batman. It was kind of fun. But there were some other ones in some of the other specials. And you could only get them at Walmart.
Yeah.
Which was kind of frustrating. So there were these rumors that they were ditching them in favor of releasing them everywhere.
Yeah.
And then some clarification came out from Dan DiDio basically saying, we're not getting rid of them, but we're going to be like also collecting the old ones and giving those specifically to shops in the direct market, which is comic shops and technically Amazon's part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not getting rid of the Walmart giants, but they're going to have a wider kind of distribution. So I am looking forward to being able to pick up a trade or a digital version. Hopefully,
yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll release them digitally. But
you didn't want to walk
I'll at
into
least
a
be able
Walmart?
to pick up a trade. No, fuck that. Also, I don't want 100 pages where half of them are like stuff I don't want to read. Like,
I mean, they're only $5.
Yeah, and that was very tempting, but like I already have a storage problem and I don't need get 3 of these things and they're going to take up half a box.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. But I mean, that's really cool though. The Tom King doing Superman and like Brian Michael Bendis doing Batman. I think that's really cool. Like different sort of, it almost feels like an Elseworlds thing, you know?
Yeah, I think they're both still writing them. I think those stories are still ongoing. So like, I'm pretty excited to check those out at some point because I have heard nothing about them because who's reading them?
Yeah.
No one I can see on social media. So I don't know.
Well. We read comics this week. A metric fuck ton. It was fun. It was a fun time. Still have more to read. My first little point, sorry, before I go into this list of what we had, is did you know that Quantum Age is apparently over after 6?
Huh.
I checked it. It's not solicited at all in the coming months. And also I found that it's like a news story. I should have linked it, I guess. I found that it says like this, after the finale of number 6, we get an interesting finale. Like, I don't know. My idea is I think that it's still going to go into Age of Doom's next arc, which I remember being called the reboot. Do you remember that?
That's what this new issue was.
That was what it was called?
They last issue they said next the reboot, and then this issue was a sort of reboot.
I mean, I guess so. Okay, well that's it, I guess. Okay, well, shut up, Doug. I hate you. Do they have credits in this issue at all? I'm trying to look for it now.
They have the credits at the beginning. They don't usually title these.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Okay, never mind. Well,
anyways, what did we read this week?
We had comics. We read a lot. We had, speaking of, Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 8, Daredevil, number 2, Detective Comics, number 999, Heroes in Crisis, number 6, Ice Cream Man, number 10, Invaders, number 2, Martian Manhunter, number 3, Shazam, number 3, Action Comics, number 1008, Terrifics, number 13, and Peter Cannon Thunderbolts from Dynamite Publishing, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have, personally, Man-Eaters, number 6, on top of that.
I also picked up The Amazing Spider-Man, number 16, and Captain America, number 8, I believe that was.
Okay, nice.
On mine.
Who does the art on that again?
On Captain America?
Yeah.
It's Leinil Francis Yu. I'm trying to think if he did the art, he or she, I'm not sure, did the art on anything else. Although this is... I'm trying to find this issue.
I've never heard about it.
Oh, it's not even Leinil Francis Yu, this issue. It's Adam Kubert.
Oh.
Who you have definitely read some issues from, but I cannot recall what.
I've heard that name.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about some specifics. I'll give the spoiler warning this time.
Oh, okay. These are getting more and more uncomfortable, these sounds.
I don't think there's a trend. Like, you had a couple of really good ones. Not to say that mine wasn't really good this time. I just, Your
sound is very, very guttural and grunty in a way that I don't like.
Oh, well, that's you. I guess that's a personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do a poll on Twitter? I've won every single poll we've done on Twitter.
How would you do a poll of that?
I just say, hey, am I right or is Doug right? And they all are going to put Jack is right.
You are going to get 0 votes on that poll.
Well, then I'll close it because it's probably a coordinated troll attack from you.
Okay.
Sorry. Doug, can we talk about Action Comics 1008?
1008.
1008.
I'm very excited to talk about Action Comics 1008.
I have questions.
You have questions. I have maybe answers.
Who is Mr. Bones and what is the DEO?
Mr. Bones is a man who would love to bone down. Mr. Bones is the head of the DEO, which is an organization in the DC universe. It is the Department of Extranormal Operations.
Yes.
Which is basically the government agency tasked with monitoring superhumans.
Okay. Can I read anything about the DEO specifically and Mr. Bones?
The DEO is in a bunch of books. I don't know that I can give you a specific thing that I've read that I can say, like, this is a thing you can read if you want to read a bunch about the DEO. But I know that Mr. Bones showed up in a bunch of JSA stuff.
Okay.
Jeff Johns JSA stuff that I've read. I know he was a big part of Infinity Inc., which is a thing I haven't read. But my familiarity with him comes from his occasional appearances in JSA.
Isn't it weird that I've not heard of the DEO at all since starting to read comics?
They're not a huge thing. In fact, I'm not 100% sure if this isn't their reintroduction into the canon.
Oh.
After New 52, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, shit. It's a great reintroduction. This issue, just the way it was structured and the way it's structured, I think, is so great and just keeps you in the story completely the entire time. Like, this issue is just crafted in such a amazing way, I think. And, like, with Steve Epting's art as well, I will always love him. I don't know. What was your, what makes this issue awesome for you?
You wouldn't have thought that, like, if someone said, like, Superman espionage story, you'd been like, that seems like an odd fit, but it really works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the end to it is, like, Superman and Lois Lane, and a lot of the characters around them are journalists.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of approaching it from kind of that angle, in that they're, like, investigating these issues. And it kind of really works. I honestly think that, like, a mystery is, in my opinion, kind of the best use of superheroes a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you kind of the best kind of mix of intrigue and stuff to fight and, just kind of general kind of drama and all that. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, but I don't know. I just think that this issue is really well paced. I think that Steve Epting specifically is a really good match for this type of story.
Mm-hmm.
He does espionage stuff really well. And I think, like, this is playing to a lot of Bendis's strengths, in that we're putting just a little bit more focus on kind of the small scale and the character stuff, tension. Yeah. I think this is my favorite arc of Action Comics so far, and probably of Bendis's stuff on Superman, and this is probably my favorite issue.
I mean, it's the big deal happening, so it could just get better and better from here, honestly, which I'm totally down for. I have one question, though.
Okay.
Why did Amanda Waller shoot Sam Lane at the end? to...
I think it was that, like, she decided she couldn't trust anybody?
But
I'm not sure.
Blown up. I mean, okay. I mean, it just seems like a weird decision, and I feel like she causes death then. That's really, really sad.
She didn't directly kill him, but I don't know. I think she was just like, Amanda Waller's a
dick?
Yeah, kind of. She's just kind of a dick. So she, she just like at this moment was just like, I can't trust anybody and I need to get away from him.
Yeah.
And she knew he had this shield on, so she knew she wasn't, like, they said something about that.
No, I know that. She left him behind, and this figure is coming over.
Yeah. It's, I think, implied here that it seems like he might be dead.
He probably isn't, though, honestly, because I feel like that'd be too much of a cop-out. Like, they just told him, like, they just have that huge thing. Like, I feel like that'd be kind of shitty if he's just dead now. You know what I mean?
It would be, and I think I agree with you generally, but there is also something kind of poignant about she finally reveals he's Superman, that Clark Kent is Superman to him. And then he has this moment where he's talking to Amanda Waller and he says, she may have convinced, he's like drinking out of a flask. And he says, like, she may, after all this, have finally convinced me that I have been playing this all wrong. So he seems like regretful. Like he's finally realized, like, holy shit, I've been like fucking.
I mean, I can understand that, and his tears well up at the end here when, and he says, like, Lois, as he's theoretically staring his death in the face. Yeah. Like, I mean, I can understand that. Maybe it's not that shitty, but I just feel like there's story potential there. You know?
I know. I tend to agree. Yeah, that I think it would be more interesting to see like what a Sam Lane who knows whatever he ends up doing with that information. Now, Sam Lane, who knows that Clark Kent is Superman, I think would at least be interesting to explore.
And honestly, if this is Leviathan and they do keep him alive, maybe they're going to use that, you know? Like, I feel like a big part of this book has been, Superman and Lois, like, being shown out in public together. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff. So I feel like they're kind of teasing that line of, like, oh shit, people are going to find out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy this issue. I feel like I just saw something in here that I did not realize. Who's this?
It's in the middle. Leviathan Rising. Colors, Brad Anderson.
Oh, okay, never mind. I think it was in a different book. Some book this week I realized was colored by Dean White, and I did not know that.
That was Daredevil. I have no idea. I was going to think it's Black Hammer, but it's Dean Ormston as the art.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyways, maybe that wasn't.
Who knows? It's all bleeding together. But I think a lot of the way that this feels like espionage is such a great part of this story, I think, is Steve Epstein's art. I think that specifically, like the way he shades faces and he shows drama through that, and anything really, it works so well with the espionage sort of aspect of it. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, this is Steve Epting is a well-established espionage superhero comics artist. Specifically, he does most of Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America, which is the big thing, which is very espionage. And he just fucking really does that stuff well.
Also,
I don't know.
But I have a question. Does Clark or does Superman know that Red Mist woman is this good lady, this lady that works at the Daily Planet, or not? I forgot.
I think he's suspicious of her. I don't think he specifically knows that she is the Red Mist, but he definitely knows she's up to some shit. Like, I'm pretty sure he saw the other issue where she brought in kryptonite to the office and he had like an attack. Oh, yeah. Sure he saw she had the kryptonite, and he's like kind of scoping her out here, like standing around listening when she's like, I don't know. I was a little confused by that sequence. I think she's like, she had like a secret phone call, like still on the line after she finished this other phone call that may or may not have been fake.
Yeah.
but I'm unclear on that. But she definitely had like someone waiting on the other line who Clark was waiting around to like hear her talk to. But yeah, he's definitely suspicious of her, but I don't think he specifically.
I feel like, I hope that Red Mist stuff comes up somehow. I don't know how it would, but I hope it gets tied in, because otherwise it's going to feel like it's just a random character that they just decided to introduce right before this huge thing. You know what I mean?
I think she's part of the long running kind of arc of this series. It's probably going to be in the mold of like, we're going to get arcs like this that are hyper specific, and then we're going to get arcs that are kind of more fitting into the longer running story. Like we still haven't really wrapped up the Rogol Zar stuff. Or no, wait, that wasn't Superman.
But the fires
but anyway,
is something we haven't wrapped up really.
Yeah, the fires are definitely a thing we haven't solved yet. So like, like there's lots of stuff that is going to continue to be like elements. Like the Red Mist will come back into the story in a major way at some point.
Also, after reading the story, I don't know why the cover is the way it is, and who these people are surrounding Jimmy Olsen.
Well, there's 2 Cobra people, and then I'm assuming these guys in the black armor are from the DEO. I
thought you'd have more of an idea, but also like,
no,
is Jimmy Olsen the most dangerous person because he knows like all this information that he's doling out?
Yeah, it's that like, I guess the idea that people are going to come after him. It seems a little premature. Cover, but I'm guessing it'll make more sense looking back on this arc. But like, because yeah, he's hiding out here because he like knows information and thinks people are after him. But maybe it is the idea that he thinks people are after him more than.
I mean, that could be. I mean, it's a huge thing. I mean, he just kissed a lizard girl, so.
Yeah, I don't know. He kissed a lizard girl. I love how he keeps calling them lizard people.
Okay, well. Yeah, I love this series. Yeah. So, like, I feel like I keep going back and forth. Like, this issue now makes it so that I like Action Comics more than Superman. But then I'll bet next issue is Superman. I'll be like, Superman is so great. Fucking Brian Michael Bendis. I don't understand how people don't like this.
Yet he's still really polarizing, and I keep seeing like people will post positive stuff about it, and like the first comment will be like, "Wish someone else was writing it." And I just be like, Jesus, like it's just some people just really don't like it. But I don't quite understand.
I do feel like the Action Comics title is less divisive than the Superman one, just based off of the material. You know what I mean? Like Action Comics is more of a straight up just like, I mean, I guess that's subjective in opinion. Like, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying.
But I do think it is the stronger of the two, and like, it's I don't know. It's just a really good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything more creative to say about it than that anymore. I've exhausted my points. But
you know what else is a really good book, Doug? Martian Manhunter. And I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I've liked the first 2 issues. I have.
Yeah.
They're good.
I agree.
This issue was fucking awesome.
I would also agree. This issue was a big step up.
I don't know. I feel like it's really solidified itself with this issue of like, I don't know, maybe not solidified because I guess we didn't really get that much more information as to how it's going to be in the future. But I just thought it was just really, really well done. Like his history, his introduction, a Martian Manhunter is like going through how his introduction to Earth was. I was really like captivated by that and how he felt during that time. And the like what was happening around it to like make him stay as the person. I don't know. Like you posted about this on Twitter, actually, one specific moment. And I agree completely that it was such a great thing. Like what, tell me, Doug.
So, yeah, I mean, so this issue in this kind of series in general has been kind of half, a case that John Jones is investigating on Earth in the present day of the story. I'm not entirely sure if it's supposed to be. I feel like they said in the first issue it was still like in the past.
Oh yeah, it's like a few years ago or something like that.
Yeah, which is confusing to me, and I don't really understand. I think that was maybe just a way for them to be like, not really gonna affect anything in current continuity.
I'm pretty sure it just means this is before he is teaming with any other superhero.
Sure. Okay. So he hadn't joined the Justice League yet or whatever. Okay. All right. Sure. Fair. I'm wondering if that's going to be addressed at all. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so it's been half that and then half backstory and sort of an origin story of him, like he's passed on Mars and then coming to Earth. So we've been getting a lot of kind of writer Steve Orlando and artist Riley Rossmo's kind of reimagining of the Martian kind of whole kind of mythology. And there's some stuff so he actually comes to Earth in this issue. He gets kind of trapped there. He gets teleported there by an experiment by someone on Earth and trapped there, which is the classic kind of scenario. That's how he ends up on Earth. But we get more kind of detail here in their telling of it. And the one bit that I specifically posted about that I found really, really smart and interesting, and was that they added this idea of on Mars, when someone you care about dies, someone wears their shapeshifters. So one of the survivors, one of the people surviving this person who died, they wear their shape, quote unquote. They basically take the form of the person who has just died, and they wear it for one cycle, which I assume means it says roughly 10 Earth days. So like a week, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, they wear it for some amount of time to honor the dead person. And so they kind of work that into this idea of, because John Jones was a real person before Jean Jones, which they never address. They never address why they have the same name.
I mean, whatever.
Whatever. It's whatever. Martian John Jones is he wears the form of this deceased human John Jones to honor him, and then because it's the only way he can kind of exist on Earth without being intangible and invisible, it's the only way he can interact with people. He kind of can't give it up, and I think that's just such a smart new bit of backstory that adds to something that was just basically kind of like, oh, he took the form of human detective John Jones, and now he lives on Earth. Like, it was just kind of, that was just kind of it. It's a really
inspired way to make that make sense.
Well, it makes it make sense, like, and it adds this note of kind of emotion to it. Like, it adds this bit of character to it and this bit of history, and I think it's so
it's boiled down to this. I'm looking at this page. It's after the 2-page splash ad of Mira. But after the moment that you're talking about where he's like looking into his life and like talking about taking his shape, and he's looking down at where he buried the detective, and there are 2 panels of him looking up and being like inspired and then slowly turning into the Martian, and then 2 panels of him as the Green Martian looking down and then going back to being John Jones. Like, that whole decision boiled down to 1 page, and just like, I think written in a concise and just absolutely emotionally driven like way. Like, it was really, really cool to see this like whole issue play out as it does. And yeah, big fan of, like, Riley Rossmo's art is still just beautiful. I love this image of when he's saving these people as the Martian. What is it? This is 1-page splash where it's where John Jones dies, a human, and and Martian Manhunter sees this and gets mad, and there's this page of him just fucking this guy up. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he turns into this big monster and kind of smashes the dude into a ceiling.
That shit looks fucking bonkers and awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just read, I just finished reading Bedlam by Nick Spencer with art by Riley Rossmo. And I think I know I was kind of sour on Riley Rossmo at like before the series came out.
Yeah, I'm glad you were really liking it because you really didn't like how how Martian Manhunter looked before the book.
I didn't, but I've really been. I think it helps that it's also like we're having it separated as a thing that's taking place more in the past, so he's younger. So in my head, it's like, okay, that's just how he looks right now. You know,
it's also like it works specifically in the context of the entire world being in his style, you know, like it looks much more natural in that environment as opposed to seeing, you know, a character design on a Twitter post or whatever, which I think was the only kind of way that you were seeing it before.
Absolutely. But like, I don't know, it just, even reading another like a different thing of his work, like in Bedlam, it's just, I don't know. I can see where his line work comes from. I love seeing that style come through, even though the coloring's different, obviously. And it's really, really cool. I don't know. Yeah. That's about all.
He has a very distinctive style that, like, sometimes, it can take a little bit of getting used to, but once you kind of are like on board with it, it's super dynamic and like expressive.
Yeah.
I really like Riley Rossmo.
And he's perfect for this specific story. Like, it's, such a fan. I'm so excited for like the rest of the series. I'm sad it's only 12 issues. I want it to just be an ongoing. I know it shouldn't be probably. Like, I mean, they can keep giving him mysteries to like solve in this little weird area.
Yeah. Cause that's like my dream book is just like fucking, I just want like John Jones in his dual identity, like, being a detective who's secretly in it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I totally, maybe this 12 issue is a way to sort of see if they can do more with that, possibly. I don't know. But if it.
Yeah. I don't know that. I think that DC's, kind of, attitude / strategy towards a lot of these smaller characters lately has been to specifically be like, we're going to do these mini or maxi series around them. They're not going to get ongoing books. That's been kind of a shift that they've made in the last few years.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, this might have used to at least have been announced as an ongoing, even if it got canceled after 10 or 12 or whatever. But now their strategy as of late is just be like, these books don't sell great anyways, so let's just put an end date on.
And honestly, 12 issues is a lot, so maybe I shouldn't be complaining. Like, it's a good amount of story, and having an end in sight does hone in on what a writer wants to do more so sometimes.
I mean, it allows the writer to, like, if series like this don't sell and end up getting canceled anyway, it's probably a cleaner way to allow the creator to, like, go in and knowing, okay, I have 12 issues to tell this story, let's plan this out. As opposed to, like, a lot of series, like, I was just talking to someone about the Immortal Men on Twitter the other day, and it was that was a series that James Tynion did that, like, it got canceled, and he had to be like, oh fuck, and like rush to like wrap a bunch of shit up, and it felt like that, you know, it felt rushed at the end, whereas like this, like, Steve Orlando is going to be able to go like, okay, I have this much time to tell this story, and we'll be able to do it naturally.
That Tynion book was part of the New Age DC Heroes thing.
Yes, it was.
Did you like it up until like the end then, or?
I really liked the characters, and the plot of the book was fine, and also had a bunch of Batman Who Laughs shit in it, and I was just like, I don't want this. But I really like I think there was some really, really clever new characters in that book that I wish someone, more so than wanting more of that book, I want someone to be like, oh, this character from this book was really cool, and just like put them in something else, you know?
I got you.
Like, I just don't want them to like disappear into like a drawer somewhere and just never be used again.
I understand that. So yeah, we're officially a fourth of the way through this series, though. So I'll take it all the way. I have a prediction that I think the series is going to have an epilogue of some sort, or end with Martian Manhunter coming into contact with the Justice League or a hero of another kind.
Yeah, I wonder. I feel like it has to be addressed somehow. I mean,
I don't know if it has to be.
I just feel like otherwise, is the idea that he isn't still a detective, like, in the modern day? Like, is he not anymore? Is he just being on the Justice League?
I wonder if there'll be a time jump.
I just, I feel like you could set this quote, present day, the flash forward stuff in this book in the present day. Like, you could.
But also, he would utilize the Justice League if it became too big of a threat. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know. I feel like the it being in the past still in the flash forward stuff, like, I feel like that needs to be addressed, like, that there is, like, somehow bridge that gap. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary.
I don't know about that. Doug. Okay. So, I love it. It's great. Love the series. Can we talk about Heroes in Crisis a little bit?
Okay.
The most divisive book on the stands. Which I figured out, apparently people read this not just to hate it, but they read it because they quote unquote need to know what happens to Wally West. Like, I get that, I guess, but just read it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, read a fucking summary later if you hate the writing so much.
Also, I want to make it clear, because I think I said this a few issues ago too, last issue. This book is not about the plot. It's not about the plot. It's not about the story. It's a study of these characters and what they could possibly be feeling. If you do not like that study, or talking about mental health, like, I saw someone on there be like, I hate that Wally West has been demoted to just boo-hoo my family. Like, no, that's fucking trauma, you dipshit. Like, sorry.
Well, it's just it's something that, like, if you were fucking brought into another universe, like, and your family disappeared, like, he has a wife and children, like, it's actually kind of bonkers that it hasn't been addressed.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't even think about that, honestly, because I haven't been that much, you know what I mean?
It's been largely kind of glossed over. Like, the Flash book had been specifically doing some stuff with this. I fell off of that book because I don't really care for a lot of the plotting in that book, but, like, they were at least, like, it was at least being addressed. But yeah, I don't know. It's the character work in this book is so good.
Who the fuck is Narc? I love this motherfucker. I want a book about Narc all over the place.
And I want to specify this character's name is Gnarrk. He is not a Narc.
I didn't even think about that.
Ratting on us.
But he's so, like, the things he says are so fucking poignant. Like, specifically, I showed Samantha this one. I mean, she read this, but I showed her this one because it's my favorite. He says, as he's with a picture of him shoving a rock into another guy's face, in old day, death always there, so Narc worry about death. New day, life always there, so now Narc worry about life. Like, that shit is so fucking great. Like, I feel like I've thought about, like, it is a simpler time, like, when you don't have civilization, when you don't have everything like that, like, in place, those systems. But then you're always worrying about death. But it's the same worry when we're comfortable, we're in life and everything. But because we have all this system to work around, it's something that's this huge, like, anxiety driven thing. Like, we worry about life and how our life's going to go on. Like, I just think it gets so many things gets boiled down by Narc, and he explains it in such a simple way that it's just like, there it is. It's fucking,
And he also specifically was a character that we kind of got to see his whole kind of arc at Sanctuary.
Yes.
Because, we see kind of him kind of thinking through like so he's like a caveman, and you're able to use these kind of hologram spaces in Sanctuary to experience whatever you want. So he's like living in caveman times, like prehistoric times, with a woolly mammoth and all this shit, and just kind of, but he's also kind of like thinking aloud through his problems and like why he's like stressed by living in the modern world, and like kind of being like, well, like the old world was so beautiful and so simple, but actually also, and the new world is stressful, but also kind of, is it more stressful than the old world? Maybe the old world was stressful too. And finally, at the end, he's just like, you know what? It's just kind of all the same. I think I'm good. Yeah. And like, he's like, I'm Sanctuary, I'm done. I'm ready to go home. And that's when the inciting incident for the series happens.
Did you notice also that at the end?
Yes, we have to talk about that.
So I actually went back and I read the third issue, which is the last time we had a big Wally West like, this is his thing at Sanctuary. I read the whole thing actually. He says the exact same thing to Roy while holding him in his arms on this page. Word for word, panel by panel.
However, in the first time it happens...
Yes, exactly. It's in a different place.
He's inside here. He's in a different place, and in the first time it happens, he is hit by Harley Quinn's hammer, and then Booster Gold finds her. Here, he is blasted by Booster Gold's like energy blast from his fist, and then Harley Quinn sees him.
Furthermore, the person doing the murdering, either Harley Quinn or Booster Gold, they both say, "I didn't know you were here."
Yeah, I don't... What the fuck does that mean? And then there's the weird like time travel thing with Wally West that they introduced last issue. Or was that last issue?
That was last issue, I believe, because Batman and Flash were like looking at it being like...
So, I don't know what that means. Is this all a are these two different simulations being lived out by Booster and Harley? So. Are these... I don't know what any of this means.
Is this Wally West just coming out of... It looks like this page of Wally West coming out of a white background is him coming out of like the Speed Force and time travel.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like when like universes end. Yeah, maybe he's in the Speed Force.
He says, "Wait, slow down."
I don't know.
Like, why is he saying, "Wait, slow down"? I don't even know. Like, it doesn't have to do with what he was doing back. He wasn't in a simulation last time we saw him.
Oh, maybe is he chasing Barry? Is this when like Barry died?
Oh,
maybe?
possibly. I don't know. But yeah, it's weird. I personally think that maybe Poison Ivy has something to do with this, because it's kind of weird that she says, Harley, like, she plays down the emergency, please proceed to nearest exit. And she said, no, it's a drill or something, like, stay here, it'll be easier.
And then she leaves. Yeah. I still stand by the theory I think Harley did. Or not Harley, Poison Ivy.
Yeah. There's something going on with Poison Ivy. Like, because it says, stay here in the chamber, it's easier, I'll be back. But then she leaves because, I don't know. There's something, maybe it's two timelines.
Yeah, like the fucking emergency, please proceed, the nearest exit happens. And her first thing she says is, I should probably go.
Yeah.
Not we should go, not like, it's specifically like, basically like telling her stay here.
Yeah.
Like, it implies this sort of knowledge about what's happening in a weird way. And she's got something to do with it. And I don't know what's going on with these two alternate versions of Wally getting killed.
Like, I hope it's not a cop-out sort of thing. Like, it's so close to it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it matters if it's all in a simulation, really, because I really enjoy this. Like I said, the plot doesn't matter to me anymore. Like, the plot's fine. I'm interested in the plot still.
Well, the thing, though, is, like, I don't know if these scenes of Harley or Booster catching each other are real or not. I think those could definitely be a simulation, but I think the murders are definitely real.
Do you think?
I think the actual incident that happened at Sanctuary is still real.
Do you think Wally West,
even if those
is going to be dead then after this?
I think Wally West is not dead. I think Wally West.
I agree. But also when I was reading the first issue again, remember when we were talking about the Puddlers and how I don't know, my first reaction to the Puddlers was that it was a group that was doing the murder thing and releasing all the secrets. It's not. The reference to the Puddlers in the first issue is to the androids that run Sanctuary. And the thing that's written on the wall is the Puddlers are all dead. That's what it says. So they're referring, I'm pretty sure, to just the people that run Sanctuary, the androids, the AI system, and like right over all their dismembered bodies and stuff, it says the Puddlers are all dead. So that was just a misreading, I guess, on both their parts.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. But if this does end up being somewhat in a simulation, I mean, like I said, the plot should not matter as much in this story. It's about the study, and I love the fucking study, and it's great. And Mitch Gerads is a fucking god.
Yeah, Mitch Gerads did the art on the flashback stuff. Or it's not even flashback, it's the testimonial stuff in this. It was still Clayman on the testimonials, which is a nice way to kind of keep some consistency. I think Mitch Gerads didn't even feel like a jump. It felt very natural in this book. But then again, he fucking works really well with Tom King. So anyways.
Okay, so we don't have to get us caught up into that anymore. But still divisive apparently. It's going to be divisive the whole way through, I guess.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's kind of why this book is important.
Totally. I absolutely agree. Okay. I don't know. Do you want to talk about Black Hammer a little bit? Just because, it's very different.
If you want to talk about very, very briefly.
I just want to say, the last thing we saw of this was Colonel Weird walking out of Jeff Lemire's head in the clouds. Yeah. And then we have this.
I'm pretty sure in the long run that arc will have been a kind of...
just a filler sort of thing.
Not even a filler. It was just that was a natural break in where it could happen. And that was just kind of a little story idea that Jeff Lemire had that he thought would fit in this. I don't think it's going to have some sort of long running. I mean, maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe those characters will come back or something, but I don't know that creative space kind of, mythology is going to come back in any kind of importance.
The main thing I want to talk about in this issue is the fact that Takiwaki is the best character ever, and I'm so glad he's here. Or she's here.
Oh, Takiwaki. Yeah, Takiwaki.
I was not expecting that to be the revealed character. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be either Mannequin Dragonfly or Colonel Weird. They're usually the characters, but fucking Takiwaki. He's the best. And the fucking cat is called Taki. She named her cat Taki because she knew. You know?
Oh, did she name her cat Taki?
She, there's good night, Taki.
Huh.
It's great. Also, I don't know what Abraham Slam walking to the ancient artifacts section of his museum has any significance. He just sighs and walks back.
He's doing he gets bored, and so he's he's doing a sweep.
I know, but they specifically have ancient artifacts, and he sighs.
There's literally a panel with an arrow pointing to himself, and it says ancient artifacts.
Oh, I didn't.
He's just sad that he's
catch
old.
That.
He's just I'm doing nothing with my life, and I'm old.
I gotcha. Okay. That kind of explains it. Okay. Also, I want to Punch Sockingham series.
Punch Sockingham.
Sockingham, I believe.
Sockingham. He's also either fighting giant ants or he's tiny. And he's chained up.
He's able to fit into a sock. That's the whole thing. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I think I'm satisfied. Terrifics remains to be good, except apparently that's not Jeff Lemire's last issue, as we reported. So I'm still on. I got to put it back on my poll now.
Yeah.
But
cool.
By the way, I'm sorry. Even my store said, when I said, take Terrifics off my pull, they said, oh, you're not going to give the new guy a chance? So I swear they changed it.
They still probably, I don't know. Maybe they did add one more, but I don't know that they did. I think they just probably also didn't realize there was one more. It's like close enough, that they probably just thought that was still what you were doing.
I don't know. Okay, but yeah, I guess I'm on that still. So Doug, what do we got next week? We got a lot of exciting things next week.
Speaking of Black Hammer, we have the newest spin-off from the Black Hammer universe. We have Black Hammer 45, number 1, which is a kind of 1945 set pulp era tale.
Co-written by
right? It's co-written or written by someone else, and I cannot recall who is it. Rob Williams. I do not remember. You look that up while I read.
Okay, go ahead.
We've got Die number 4, Doomsday Clock number 9. Oh. Good God, it's been forever.
When did wait? I have to look up what. Oh, Ray Fox.
Oh, Ray Fox is writing it. Cool. Okay.
And Matt Kent is doing the art.
Okay. Yeah. I think I knew that he did the preview art that or cover or whatever that was. Yeah. When they announced it.
I gotta look up when Doomsday Clock last came out. That shit is crazy.
God, it's so long. It's been delayed multiple times.
I'm so excited though.
It's already once every 2 months, and it got delayed further than that. God, it's been so long. I think this is number 9 out of 12. Yeah. Oh God, we're not even like. I keep thinking we're almost to the end, and we are sort of
the last third.
Yeah, this is the last third here. Oh my God. Doomsday Clock number 9. We got The Green Lantern number 5.
Oh my God.
Immortal Hulk number 14. By the way, did you notice that Terrifics this week was Joe Bennett?
Yeah, I did. It was really great. I loved it.
I want to see Joe Bennett on more stuff. I thought that worked really well.
Wait a minute.
I wonder if he's doing the next one.
Do you want to guess when Doomsday Clock 8 came out?
Okay, it's February.
It's the end. It's March.
What? Oh, I guess it's March now. Yes, it's March 2nd. But anyways, okay. Let's see. It's supposed to be once every 2 months, which if it was supposed to come out in February would have been December. So I'm going to guess November.
Okay, it was actually December 5th. I guess it wasn't that bad when you really break it down. But it's an extra month.
Yeah, it got an extra month added on there.
But God damn it. I mean, I'll take it. Honestly, I can always reread them right before they come out. I reread number 8, and I love that fucking issue. It might be my favorite issue of the whole thing.
It's a very good issue.
God damn.
Yeah. Was that issue the one with Firestorm, or was that the one before it?
No, yeah. Firestorm goes to Russia because people are talking shit about the Superman theory, and then he's like, guys, I'm not fucking part of this shit. And then he turns a bunch of fuckers to glass, theoretically, but I don't think he did.
But that was in 8?
What?
That was in issue 8?
That was all in issue 8, yeah. Superman comes, and then they figure out that maybe he can turn them back. Yep. So he brings him back to that thing. People get fucking like crazy because they see him as a terrorist, and then they start killing all the glass people.
Yep.
And big blue explosion.
Big blue explosion. We've got Justice League number 19. It says here this will be the first one I won't read. I
know why.
I may or may not still pick
You looked at the solicitation, didn't you?
I saw it was Jorge Jimenez back on art.
Did you see what character is going to be in it for the next arc?
I know they're on...
You ready? Can I tell you?
Okay, who is it?
Mr. Mixie Pitlick.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to the 5th dimension.
6th dimension, Doug.
6th dimension. I didn't see his name in the solicitation, but I think I did make that mental jump.
Yeah.
That was going to be in there. But, yeah.
You should just do it. It sounds like a really cool arc. It could get really, really bogged down into Scott Snyder's heady shit, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential.
It's going to look real good at least.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I think you should do it, Doug. Come on.
I think I'm going to stop getting it physically though.
Just one more hit, man. Just one more hit.
Anyways, there's also a couple new series next week that I may or may not pick up. I I think I'm definitely going to pick up Meet the Skrulls #1.
Okay, I need some more convincing. Like, the idea I get from the cover is that there's one part member of the family that's not a Skrull.
I don't think that's true. I think they're all Skrulls.
Okay. Then maybe not. Who's writing this?
Maybe one character is still. No, I see. There's they've put out images of them all as Skrulls. Anyways,
Okay.
who is doing this? This is by Robbie Thompson. The art is by Nico Henrichon.
I know.
Henrichon?
What was that?
Which,
Damnation? Doctor Strange?
Damnation and some of Marvel Knights 20th.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I really like Nico Henrichon. I still don't know how to say that name. I don't know much about Robbie Thompson, but I just really like the concept of it's a group of like basically Skrulls as sleeper agents living as people in the Marvel universe.
It sounds very Vision by Tom King.
No, I feel like it's more like The Americans. Like
I can see that, I guess.
Like it's about like sleeper agents. Like it's about them like secretly being agents of the Skrull Empire or whatever, you know?
I can understand. Maybe the kid on the cover that isn't shown as a Skrull that like looks kind of like not going with the flow. Maybe the whole thing is going to be about them like making friends or something like that, or like
like they're not on board with like being the sleeper agents.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it on my list so I'm aware of it.
I don't know. I'm going to try it because I think that sounds different and interesting. So I'm going to check it out. There's also I don't know about this one.
I'm not getting it.
I'm just pointing it out.
I'm not getting it.
Just pointing it out. Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys Marvel history.
I'm not going to support the Deadpoolification of this character that I've come to know and love.
Yeah, I think this is too much.
And it's also written...
I think this is too soon.
It's written by that Comedy Bang Bang guy, right? The guy that's in the lead.
Yeah, it's... God, what is his name? Paul Scheer.
Paul Scheer.
He's writing it. I don't know if he's ever written a comic before. Maybe he has. I have no idea. But I don't know. It seems stunty. It seems
like he's just going to be traveling around for no reason, just like doing random shit in the history of Marvel. Like I don't want that to be. I don't want time travel to be his gimmick. Honestly, like I just don't want. It feels like it's going to be like a pure comedy series with him, and I don't really want that.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's coming out at least. I don't know that I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But and Amazing Spider-Man number 16.Hue.
Okay, yeah, I saw you talking to someone about this on Twitter. What the fuck is this?
16.Hue.
What is?
It's 16.Hu. So as opposed to number 16 and number 17,
which came out this week, right? 16.
16, I will check right now. 16 came out this week, and this next week is number 16.Hue. I have no idea if I have to read it or not. I'm very confused.
I mean, I heard, isn't it like Hunted is the storyline going on?
Yeah, it's Hunted is the storyline, but why wouldn't they just make it go weekly? It makes me think that I'm not necessarily supposed to have to read it. But I don't know because the messaging around it is so confusing. They don't say they don't say if it's like all one story or not. They don't say if it's. I don't know if I have to read it.
I mean, you should just flip through it, right? Do they have a preview at all anywhere?
I have no idea if there's a preview, but I'll take a look at it this next week.
Is it written by Nick Spencer?
Yeah, it's by Nick Spencer. I think it's a different artist, but I don't know. Weird. So that's dumb.
Okay, well, Doug, can we talk about some of this other extra media?
Yes, let's talk about this. This media is very extra this week, Jack. This media is doing the most.
We had another episode of the show Doom Patrol on DC Universe streaming platform. Season 1, Episode 3, Puppet Patrol.
Which apparently every episode is going to be blank patrol. because
has it been?
The first issue was just the pilot. It didn't have a title. But the second issue...
The first
episode. The first episode was just the pilot. The second episode was called Donkey Patrol. This one was called Puppet Patrol. And the next one on the preview I watched is called Cult Patrol. So, sure.
Okay. I'll take it. But, goddamn. This, like, okay, you know how last week we were talking about it's so close to bad?
Yeah.
This wasn't even close to bad, I don't think.
No, this was excellent.
This is fucking amazing television.
Yeah. This episode was really good.
Everything about it. Like, I just, like, okay, Cyborg still bothers me sometimes.
Yeah, Cyborg's still, like, slightly the weak point. He's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the performance. I can't quite put my finger on it. But it's something about him just feels a little bit cheesy in a way that, like, what? Well, I mean, the whole thing's fucking cheesy, but, like, somehow he doesn't fit. And that makes sense. But
it's weird. But, like, I don't know. It does kind of work in a way. Yeah. Like, he does drive the plot in a good way.
I don't think he shouldn't be in the show. But he is, like, I don't know, if you're, like, searching for a weak point. But, anyways, But he sort of works.
But just the general, like, plot of this show, like, it was written really, really well. And it put, like, Larry is done so well in this series. I loved all his shit.
The backstory stuff with Larry this episode, a lot of the present day stuff too with Larry. Like, a lot of their stuff they're doing with Larry and the negative spirit is really... It's really, really good. Like, I'm like, the backstory stuff was surprisingly subtle in a way that some of the other backstory stuff they've done hasn't been. But, and then, like, I really like the kind of dynamic they're setting up between him and the negative spirit in the present day stuff.
Definitely. And it's something that I feel like I didn't see that much in, because it's very different. His place as a character is very different in Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. And that's
not really
the main thing that I've read. So I don't, this is new stuff to me and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. He's not really of dual, he's not really two different consciousnesses in Grant Morrison's. They've kind of merged, which is kind of the setup for the version of the character in Morrison's run. Whereas this is more the classic kind of version of the character in which the negative spirit is sort of a separate entity, which is definitely new for you having only read Morrison's run. But they're doing some really interesting stuff with it.
Really big fan. And also, like, I don't know, I'm a really big fan of Jane's depiction as opposed to the last one. Cause the last episode for Jane, like, I know it was like a big focus on her, but I didn't necessarily like her like cycling through all these personalities. But I really liked like her moments in this one where like she just teleports through people. It's just like, I got bored. Like, I don't know. I guess it was a little contrived in a way, but I just thought it worked.
Some of the stuff about like the logistics of how they got to places was a little bit silly, but like I thought the character work in this episode was really strong.
And then the dude trying to get superpowers who ends up at the end.
Holy shit. That random dude, like, who just wanted to get superpowers is this little guy who, like, is wearing, like, vacation, like, Hawaiian clothes or whatever, and he's, like, going to get superpowers from this evil Nazi, like, base, and he goes through the machine and he comes out, and he is... Boy, is this a new character for people who aren't aware of this. He steps out of the machine and he is the animal, vegetable, mineral man.
I couldn't believe it, honestly.
Shit. I wonder if that's actually going to come back or if that was just like a joke.
It has to.
It was played as if this was a big like cliffhanger reveal, but I wonder if that was just a joke.
It could be a joke, but goddamn, like if they're looking for people to like maybe make the Brotherhood of Evil, like that could be a perfect thing. He's a nonsense thing that Mr. Nobody.
Oh, sure, yeah, maybe he's going to be part of the new whatever Brotherhood of Dada, Brotherhood of Evil, whatever Mr. Nobody assembles, because that was part of a lot of the early arcs of leading up to Painting That Ate Paris in Morrison's Doom Patrol, was him kind of assembling his team. And so maybe that's what this was the beginning of.
And wait, so was this character early Doom Patrol thing, or is this just a random character?
The guy
I remember you give me
which character?
You gave me Annabelle Vegetable and Norman.
He's an early Doom Patrol villain.
Okay, he is. Okay, because I remember him being one of the weird characters that you gave me.
Yeah.
And I just, seeing it, I was like, oh, okay, so he came out, he has this head of a dinosaur. I guess it's gonna eat him or something as a joke. Then it, zoomed out, and you saw the fucking celery hand. I'm like, oh,
he had a celery head and a rock leg and a dinosaur head, and he was literally animal, vegetable, mineral man.
Yeah,
it was.
I told
so
Samantha
good.
immediately. I was like, "This is one of the characters." Holy shit!
Animal veg. Yeah, I think technically he's a character who's supposed to be able to turn into any of those things, but I feel like most people don't. They just have him look like that all the time.
I mean,
because it's ridiculous looking.
With this guy, he just got these powers. So it would make sense that they would be kind of out of control right now, at least.
Yeah. He can turn into any animal, vegetable, or mineral, man.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. I love this series is so great. It's perfect.
Yeah, I really liked, I thought the villain that they had in this episode was extra creepy in a way that really worked. I thought I did have a little bit of issue. They had a whole sequence of Jane murdering a bunch of these people, and meanwhile, Cliff, Robot Man, murders a bunch of people, and then she comes down and sees all the bodies of the people he's murdered, and they have this moment where he's like, "Oh no, what did I do?" And she gets offended or freaked out. Oh,
well, I mean, it might have been one of her other...
I guess, but I don't know, people. Your people just murdered a ton of people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Were they Nazis that they were murdering?
They referred to them as that, but they were all being controlled by the one guy who was definitely yeah,
that's right.
Escaped Nazi scientist.
Yeah. I will say that I
and they were very purposefully all German.
Yeah.
So
I did kind of like the sequence, though. I don't know. I thought it was done in a very silly way.
The sequence was great. It was just that moment I thought was kind of disingenuous that she had got freaked out that he had murdered a bunch of people. Anyways,
I can understand that, but yeah, super excited for this to continue.
Yeah.
The Puppet Patrol.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Doug, do you want to talk about these discussion points that we have?
We can talk about one of them.
Do you want to set one of them? Which one would you like? Don't tell the people what the other one is.
I don't know actually what I have to say about this second one, so let's talk about the first one. I think I need to think more about that second topic. So
that's fine.
Let's just talk about this little fun thing here. So I mean,
speaking of Animal Vegetable Mineral Man,
so fucking Doom Patrol got a TV show. Who would have guessed what a weird fucking thing that this happened, and that it's good.
Yeah, all of those animated TV shows that Marvel announced of random characters.
Yeah, lots of. They're really starting to, now that they're kind of running out of the big characters to turn into media properties, they're really starting to kind of realize that, we can kind of make good stuff out of all this other weird, smaller stuff too. Given the right approach, anything can kind of be made into a good media property. So
the comics motto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my motto about comics. If you could greenlight any TV series, it can be anywhere. It can be, we don't have to specify who's making it or whatever, but any TV series, about any lesser known, comic book character, a C or D list character, who would you want a TV series about?
I want a TV series about Psycho Pirate.
You're obsessed.
Yes, I am, because that character needs to be used more.
Well, what a series about him be? I don't understand how this character. I'm confused in general how he could like headline anything.
I want a series about him like trying to learn how to express his own emotions in healthy ways.
That sounds boring.
It sounds awesome. He's so like into, putting emotions onto other people. He never spends time on himself.
Okay, but that's a side plot, what you're describing here. What is the actual like main thrust of the series about?
So the main, I haven't had time to think about this. The main thrust of the series could be, the murder of a loved one and him trying to come to terms with it. It could be a mystery, him trying to figure it out, like how his loved one got murdered, and maybe he keeps getting distracted. Well, no, never mind.
I'm just wondering how his powers specifically work as the protagonist of a story. Like, how do you use those in a proactive kind of main character role?
Okay, how about this? How about it's like a comedy series, like a la Louis.
Okay.
And it's just Psycho Pirate, like, going through regular life, like, having real, like, encounters with people, but there's this little inkling of, like, he's trying not to use his powers, but, because they, like, it makes him feel bad, but he's forced in some situations to be like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could use those powers in in quote unquote real life situations, a la Louis, in really hilarious ways.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
is that better?
That's
better
pitch. I think that makes like a more situational kind of like anthology-esque thing. I could see.
Imagine Louis C.K. literally playing an aging Psycho Pirate.
No,
why?
Don't put Louis C.K. in anything. I'm trying to think what character.
Okay, Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Can we do Bill Murray?
Oh my god, I'm very upset. I just had a moment where I had to think, like, is Bill Murray alive? Yes, Bill Murray's alive.
You bastard. He's gonna be isn't he gonna be in this new Ghostbusters thing?
Yes, he is.
What do you think about this, by the way? Sorry, this is totally I'm sorry. We shouldn't talk about that.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
It's really weird. I'm very torn on it. Because I really like the original, but also I think doing this sends a weird message. Anyways,
yeah.
But
Bill Murray as Psycho Pirate, I think that works.
Sure. Yeah. Any kind of like good
aging
improv
comedy
character. Yeah. Yeah. I think anything like that would work. Anyways, what else?
I'm sorry I made it awkward. I didn't know the full breadth of Louis C.K.'s thing.
Anyways, I'm trying to think. I mean, my standby is always like, I want a fucking Moon Knight series, but just because I think that would work really well in a TV setting. I don't know if he's a small enough character for him to fit this kind of thing, though. I don't know if he is, but
would you want him as like a comedic character, or would you want him as a badass? Like,
no, I want
insane.
I want like a Daredevil-esque show, like that kind of show. That's just like him being a vigilante and dealing with having multiple personalities also. But it's I think like a kind of hard-boiled action show like that would be really cool with Moon Knight. I'm trying to think of something that's a little more kind of out there, though, because I feel like that's kind of pretty standard kind of answer for something that's kind of asking for something that's a little more weird.
Yeah.
Who's the fucking...
The Spot. Just a whole series about the Spot, and I know. You know what tryptophobia is?
Oh boy, no, we can't do this again. We talked about this on the show. You made me think about it.
Oh, sorry. Okay, but imagine.
I don't have this fear until I think about it, and then all of a sudden, all I can think about is those horrible images if you Google it
Don't Google it, everybody. I'll just tell
seriously, it makes it happen. Because I don't think those things are real, whatever those weird images are if you search for this term. But
some people don't like beehives, how they look, because of the same idea.
But it's become this thing where now every time I see Mystique or I see anything with lots of weird holes on it, it's not that that thing grosses me out, it's that I think about those horrible Google images. The worst.
Just so everyone knows, tryptophobia is TRYP, and then it's as it sounds.
Oh boy!
It's a fear of closely packed together holes,
patterns of holes.
Imagine if the Spot has to deal with his tryptophobia.
Wait, he's afraid of it?
Every day he looks in the mirror, he's like, ah!
No.
Right? Because isn't that his thing? Like, he's full of spots, like, all over the, like,
he's full of weird little portal holes all over.
Yeah. So he has tryptophobia. That'd be a great series. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Let's see. I want to get a like a West Wing-esque kind of political show. Not political, but like I don't know, like West Wing /
When you say West Wing,
West Wing
sounds political.
Well, okay, I mean, like, in that it's like around politics, not that the show is political, but although what am I fucking saying? It would have to be. But West Wing / like House of Cards-esque show about Mr. Bones. No, but for real though, like, who would be like Amanda Waller? Just make a fucking kind of like government kind of show, like conspiracy kind of show about Amanda Waller, like of
her trying to rise the ranks, like her like sort of early story.
Yeah, and all the like superhero stuff is happening in the background, and she's like in charge of Argus or whatever, and trying to like
take control.
Yeah, like bring her like her agenda of like reining them all in and taking control of them, like higher up in the ranks. I think that would be cool.
By the way, as troublesome the DC Extended Universe movies have been, that casting for Suicide Squad was great. I thought she was awesome.
Oh yeah, I think she was definitely the best casting choice in that. I always kind of wished they had gone with someone a little bigger. But because she definitely she fits the character really well, though. Like personality wise, like performance wise, I thought she did a very good job. But I don't know.
Wait, I thought she was she not a bigger? Oh, I guess she's not. Yeah,
not in the way that Amanda Waller is bigger. Like she's a pretty, I don't know, normal looking lady.
She is a normal looking lady.
She's a normal looking lady. You know, but she's But Amanda Waller, like, I don't know, like, there aren't many, like, fat, there aren't many overweight,
plus
size. There we go. That's a polite way to put it. There aren't many, bigger female characters in comics, and she's one of them. And also it's kind of a thing. Like her nickname is The Wall, because like people made fun of her, so she made it part of her like persona that like I'm this unstoppable kind of force. And so I don't know. Anyways, it's not really important. She who was that? Viola Davis.
Viola Davis, yeah.
She worked very well as that character, I thought.
So you want Queen Latifah as Amanda Waller? Yes.
I don't know. I don't know that I have a choice. I don't want to just start naming overweight actresses now.
For your TV series, we have Queen Latifah in it.
Queen Latifah. No, just get. Just get Viola Davis. Get her to do it.
It's fine to name plus-sized women. Like,
I just can't think of any that specifically fit this.
Oprah. So. She's very plus sized. Just look at Wrinkle in Time.
All right, we're done.
Wrinkle in Time.
Okay, she was very large in that. She got big.
I was being a joke, Doug. I wasn't being offensive.
You got any other ones? I'm trying to think.
Any other C and D list characters?
Let's get like a buddy cop thing about Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Are those C and D list characters though?
Yeah, C list.
Are they? I would say B. I mean, what's B then?
Maybe they're B, but I don't know. You start to something you'll find is when you start to get like actually into comics, it starts to kind of skew your idea of what is an actual like C or D list character. Because I don't know,
Yeah.
I feel like the cutoff for me in my brain is always like A-list character. Everyone knows who that is. No matter if you're into comics or you're not, everyone, they're iconic, you know, like your Supermans, your Spider-Mans, your Batmans. Everyone knows who those characters are. Wonder Woman, you know. B-list is like most people have a passing awareness of this character.
Okay.
You know, like, I don't know. Most people know who Bane is because he was in a movie. You know, most people, it's usually around a lot of that kind of stuff. Or like people know who Lex Luthor is. Maybe he's A-list. I don't know. That's borderline.
But see, I think he's probably A-list. But that's troublesome because that's really based off of, like, I think Marvel becomes a really interesting aspect then because, like, everybody knows so many of those characters now.
Well,
you know?
But that's because they elevated them up into the public consciousness. Like, the Guardians characters are A-list now, and they were not before.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. I guess so.
I don't know. You don't necessarily have to have the same definition, but that's kind of how I think about it in my brain, is kind of like how much in the public consciousness are they?
Okay. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I guess in that sense, Booster Gold is definitely, because no one's going to know who that is outside of comics. Okay. Yeah, I'll take your Buddy Cop series. I'll take it.
Any other ones?
Here, I want, God, there's so much. I mean, I really just want an Adam Strange series.
That'd be fun.
Like, that's just him going around solving problems in space. Like, Green Lantern's fine. I love that. But I want, like, him in a sort of PI role. You know, Adam Strange's sort of private investigator role, like, figuring out some sort of mystery that maybe goes to different planets and stuff and sprawls across the universe, but it's, like, it's not, like, this huge thing. Like, it's just a mystery, you know?
Uh-huh. Sure, yeah.
I want that. That's what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm imagining, when you say an Adam Strange series, what I imagine is like a series in the 60s that's in black and white with lots of like things floating around in front of star backdrops on fishing wire. Lots of, what is that? Oh, what is that weird instrument? What is that fucking...
Didgeridoos?
No, the like sci-fi one. Yeah.
Like that thing?
Yeah. Sci-fi instrument, 60s. What is it?
Are you sure it's the name of an actual instrument? Is it
It's a theremin.
What?
You don't know what a theremin sounds like? I mean, no, I just
did the sound.
Yeah, you did the sound. That's a theremin.
Wow.
It is, look up fucking footage of a theremin sometime of someone playing a theremin. It's the weirdest instrument in the world. It's digital, I think? Or no, it's not digital, but it's like electronic.
Theremin. It sounds electronic.
But like it's like a rod that you're like moving away and towards a thing. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Whoa. It's an electronical musical instrument controlled without physical contact.
Yeah.
By the thereminist.
Yeah, so there's this antennae, and then you like basically move closer and away from this rod. It's very strange.
I want to play this. I want to learn how to play this. I want to get one.
It looks fun as hell.
Oh my god!
But it makes if anyone's seen like a sci-fi movie from the 50s or 60s, it's like kind of sound. They used it a lot in stuff, or like there's a fucking Beach Boys song that has theremin in it. Anyways.
Oh yeah, Beach Boys definitely use it. It's like, it seems like it goes between like 300 There's a really cheap one for $100. I'm sure they get better. That's so weird. I want to make one.
I feel like that would be complicated. But
if it's made in the 20s, it can't be that complicated.
Yeah, but like they also made like radios and shit, and I don't know how to make a fucking radio. Are you kidding me?
You don't?
Uh-huh.
All
right.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna about do it then, right?
Yeah.
Theremins. Yeah. I like theremins. I'm gonna incorporate that into this new theme song that I'm writing for the show.
Mm-hmm.
A theremin. I'm gonna do it.
That'd be fun. I'd be into that.
That'd be really fun.
Get a theremin in there.
Okay. But I think that's gonna do it for this week. If you made it this far, and I'm talking to you, not you, Doug. Thank you so much for listening. We're a new podcast. We're still a new podcast. We're new. When are we gonna say we're not new anymore?
10 years from now.
Okay. Cool. March 2nd? March 2nd?
Yeah, put it on your calendar.
2029.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's the year after the Olympics are going to be in LA.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Is it though?
No.
I mean, the Olympics happen. It's not really something out of the ordinary. LA's a big city. Okay, but the biggest thing you can do for us, nonetheless, even in 10 years, is if you like the show, give us a review star rating. Just, fucking do it. I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was heated. That's my fault. But if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or your mouse. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week. Or better yet, subscribe and never have to think about it. Valuable content. Valuable content.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead. I just had to do that. I have to do it every time.
You have to do it every time. You can listen to all our valuable content on iTunes, Stitcher, blah, 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 everything. Any podcast app,
I've never heard of blah, blah, blah.
It's probably not every podcast app. There's definitely ones out there that we probably haven't heard of. But, most of them just kind of scrub iTunes anyway, so.
Oh, really? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's all sorts of off-brand ones. Anyways, we're on a lot of different podcast apps. We're on Google Play Music, we're on Spotify, search for us. Whatever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered.
Nice.
In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook, any social media, not any. I keep saying that. Twitter and Facebook under the handle @comicscovered or
Instagram.
Not Instagram. Facebook.com/comicscovered. You can find archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. Or on our YouTube channel or Facebook, we put stuff you can play in a video player on there as well. It's the same thing you're listening to here. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, and maybe we will get back to you. Thanks again for listening. I am Doug.
I am Boned Down. And this has been Comics Covered.
All right. Thanks.
Cheerio.